Listen here. I think they're not following us anymore. Remy slumped against the side of the cave, frowning at her torn, dirty dress. Nightingale was the first to recover, staggering to her feet. All right, she gestured behind them at the tunnel still teeming with monsters. We can't just leave all this here without even telling the Hydes their escape tunnel is packed with monsters. If they run down here after a siege or whatever, they'll be eaten alive. So what do we do? Zeke kept his weapon drawn, watching the darkness behind them with wary eyes. They didn't let us in before. We tell them the truth, Nightingale sighed. About who we are, anyway. I think we can leave out the whole Malama thing, though. Let's go back. The same guards waited for them at the gate, eyes narrowing as they approached. We told you to get lost. You did, Remy kept at Nightingale's side, ready to catch her if she stumbled. Nightingale had a knack for pushing herself a little harder than she should have. We've got more to say. Nightingale glared up at them. Is the Hyde family aware their escape tunnel is overflowing with monsters that leads right under their estate? The guard shared a skeptical but worried glance. What? The Hydes don't have an escape tunnel. Nightingale blinked in confusion before returning to her huffy state. Well then, there's a tunnel full of monsters under the estate. Nightingale didn't even have to make it sound like a bigger problem than it really was. Wow, the tunnel isn't supposed to be there? Are you sure? The guards looked incredulously at her. Do we look sure? Nightingale waved to herself. Her body was covered in cuts and bruises. Her clothing was torn in various places, and her weapon was covered in some black ichor. We just got thoroughly handled by some gross-looking monsters trying to clear them out for you, Nightingale glared. Look, I'm Nightingale Arson. These are my friends, Zeke Jiang, Remy Moretti, and Rook Lars. If our names don't kick you into letting us in, the fact that we discovered a hole in your defenses should. We've come all the way from Millennia with urgent business, Zeke said. We need to speak to Elias at once. Lady Arson, Lord Jiang, our apologies. One of the guards quickly turned away, banging his spear a few times on the gate. Open the gate! The help has arrived! One of the guards rushed ahead of them into the house. Nightingale had scarcely gone a few steps before a pair of men came rushing out of the estate's massive double doors. They were flanked, and a set of guards followed close behind them. Am I to understand Princess Nightingale Arson is here? Asked the older of the two, glancing between them. He had a quiet dignity, as well as a subtle anger about him. A scar dominated his face, discoloring the right side from brow to chin. His eyes were red, though the one on the right was cloudy and sightless. He had a pair of cloven hooves instead of feet, and they clicked slightly with every step, a byproduct of the advancement, no doubt. That's me! Nightingale stepped forward. You must be Elias Hyde. I am. Elias lowered his head respectfully. The guards all dropped into a bow. When he rose, he held a hand out towards the younger man beside him. This is my son, Damocles. Unlike his father, the young man beside him didn't bow. He hardly twitched. You are as stunning as the rumors say, Princess, Damocles said stiffly with a forced formality. His tone obviously lacked any conviction behind the statement, but Nightingale blushed anyway. My gods mentioned a Jiang as well. That must be you? Elias looked to Zeke, who straightened. You have your mother's look about you. I hope not, Zeke whispered almost inaudibly. Elias didn't seem to notice. Your visit is an honor to us, Elias said, and a mercy. Did Balthazar send you? Zeke nodded and cleared his throat. We had our own business in the area when we learned the Hyde family was in need. A severe understatement, unfortunately, Elias sighed. Come inside. We'll talk somewhere more private.